NASCAR on Fox from Daytona, the Sprint Unlimited race break, and your leader is Matt Kenseth. He's led the most laps, the first of 3 segments tonight. Among the 19 drivers, we've had 3 different lead changes, 3 different leaders. You, the fan, can vote on your Sprint phone. Thanks for getting involved. After this first segment of 30 laps, we asked, no pit stop, 2 tires, 4 tires. 63% of you said 4 tires, so we are going to have a 4-tire stop.
And these drivers are saying, thank you, fans, because I'm telling you, Chris, these cars are going to get more and more nervous every lap that goes by. You saw them 3 wide early. Now they're 2 wide. They'll try 3 wide again, but these things are going to get difficult to drive by the time we get out toward lap 30.
You can go to NASCAR.com, and you saw the app 13 on your phone with Michael Waltrip, Chris Myers in the Hollywood Hotel, and Brad Keselowski, the reigning NASCAR champ, is with us when the race started. Right away, Brad, you shouted out, they're already pushing.
That's what it's going to take to make a move here, but we're already starting to see the cream rise to the top. Tony Stewart, he's coming. Matt Kenseth, he's been fast all along, and he drove right to the front.
I heard you mention synchronized driving.
Yeah, that's what this is early in the going, and you can do that when the tires are fresh. But the more laps they get on them, the more margin of error you need. And you know what the ironic thing about that is, Chris? As the laps wind down, people aren't going to give you any room.
We'll have a lot more to say after that first segment. Let's go back upstairs, join again Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
Thanks, Chris. Completing 13 rather, of 30 laps in the first of 3 segments tonight in the Sprint Unlimited. Matt Kenseth has led all but the first couple of laps so far. Marcus Ambrose in the 9, Greg Biffle in the 16, unable to challenge, but here comes Stewart steaming up the outside in the number 14.
Why has he won this race 3 times? Why did he run second here last year? Because he was not content. Brad Paisley could have written a song there a little bit ago about we were single file for a while, but now he went to the outside, and man, he's trying to get to the front. I think he's going to make it. He's got some good help there with Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of help from 2 of the Hendrick drivers, Jimmie Johnson in the 48 and Casey Kane in the 5.
There is Greg Biffle on the left and the number 16 Ford. Here's Steve.
And Mike, his spotter Joel Edmonds is talking about what the guys behind him are doing. You heard Kyle Busch talk about closing rate. That's exactly what Joel Edmonds is doing.
Stewart gets tagged and holds on. Behind him, they're going to pile up. Hamlin, Johnson, Busch, Martin, Gordon.
And Tony Stewart cut down in front of Matt Kenseth.
I guess we're going.
Got a little bit loose, but then these other guys reacted to it, and they all crashed.
The defending champion of the Sprint Unlimited, Kyle Busch, heavy damage.
Mike,
that 1969 Daytona yellow on Jimmie Johnson's car, Corvette color. Not much left of it. Mark Martin torn up.
When you watch this, Mike, you're going to see that Matt Kenseth sees Tony Stewart's got to push. He pulls up in front of Tony Stewart. When they get to turn 1, Tony dives to the bottom, but he clips Matt. And Tony almost wrecked, but he hung on.
First caution flag at 15 laps complete. Halfway through the first segment, you see drivers climbing out to assess the damage.
See, watch.
All right, we're going to have a look at Tony Stewart and the 9 of Marcus Ambrose to the inside.
See, Tony right here, Matt's going high. Tony says, I'm going to get under him right here, and he just gets the clip by Marcus Ambrose just a little bit in the 9, and then these guys all react to it.
Hamlin hit the brakes. His teammate Kyle Busch got in the back of him. That pushed him up into somebody else, and away they go.
And Mark Martin almost made it through, got hit in that right rear, and shot to the outside wall.
Montoya, who has lost an engine in Daytona 500 qualifying practice and was in the wreck yesterday, sneaks through.
Watch his 55 car. He's going to get clipped right here when he's trying to get by right there. And, man, he nails that outside wall. See a side window pops out of the car. That was a terrible lick. That's also Mark's second car. Remember, he wrecked in the practice here yesterday.
There's a great shot of it, Darrell. He just came down and just clipped enough that it turned him sideways.
But he was able to hang on. Yeah, he was able to save it. But these other guys, they had to check up a little bit. Marcus went up the hill a tad in front of Jimmie Johnson, and here it was on from there.
29, Harvick, again for the second time in 2 days, sneaks through unscathed.
Yeah, the C's open for him.
You see Hamlin's number 11 down to the bottom. Let's ride along.
18 with you. Watch it. Hold the brake there. Hold the brake. Hold the brake. Let it roll down right there.
And now inside the low Chevy of Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, here you're going to see Marcus Ambrose in the 9 comes up. He has to check up a little bit when he gets clipped. He'll come up right in front of Jimmy Johnson and breaks Jimmy's momentum, and when he does, they make contact.
Look inside,
right here.
inside.
Here, Jimmy, get out the gas.
Inside. You're by yourself. We're in it, fellas.
Johnson
Jimmy,
hit from behind by Hamlin, who had been tagged by Kyle Busch.
Yeah,
as things accordioned up. Matt?
And quick conversation between Tony Stewart and spotter Bob Jeffrey, a veteran spotter. This was some of that conversation. And Stewart said, "You didn't clear me. I thought I was clear. I thought I could make it." And he didn't. He took full apology for that incident.
Well, 2 of the Joe Gibbs cars, Hamlin and Kyle Busch. 2 of the Hendrick cars, Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson. 2 of the Michael Waltrip cars, Mark Martin and Martin Truex, along with Kurt Busch. Steve Burns.
Caught up with Mark Martin. It's been a tough start to Speed Weeks 2013. What happened, Mark?
Gosh, I hadn't seen a replay yet, but I saw a car sideways, and I thought we were all going to be fine. And then, like the 14 or somebody got sideways up there, and then the cars up higher on the racetrack tangled for some reason, and that's when the wreck really happened. We were headed, we were going to get through there, and I got squeezed. I tried to squeeze Martin down, and he was there. I couldn't move down any further. 24 was coming, and I couldn't move, but somebody got turned, and it looked like it was going to be okay, but then there was a secondary accident. It looked like kind of on the higher side of the racetrack, and there were cars all in between me. So, gosh, we didn't get very far along there, did we?
Glad you're okay, though. Heavy impact.
I just want to thank, Aaron's and everybody at Michael Waltrip Racing. We got fast race cars, and, the 500 still to come.
Thanks, Mark. Let's go back to Mike.
23 Sprint Unlimiteds for Mark Martin, tying Bill Elliott for the most. But for Mark, it's over.